The night he came home, it was simple: a white mask, a kitchen knife, and pure, wordless evil. But behind Halloween, 1978, John Carpenter's low-budget horror masterpiece, lies a haunting collection of secrets that changed horror forever. From the eerie silence of Haddonfield to the story of how Michael Myers' mask was born from an unexpected source. These are 20 scary facts you didn't know about Halloween, 1978, the film that redefined fear and created a legend that still stalks our nightmares. Let's begin. Number 1. The budget that birthed a monster. Halloween's terror began on a shoestring. John Carpenter and producer Deborah Hill had just $325,000 to make the movie, a fraction of what studios were spending on small comedies at the time. That meant no elaborate sets, no expensive effects, just atmosphere, tension, and one terrifyingly simple premise. What if evil could walk among us?
Halloween is loaded with scares, suspense scares, hopefully not grisly or...
Carpenter shot the film in only 20 days, mostly in Pasadena, California, because real autumn leaves were nowhere to be found. Crew members hand-painted paper leaves and scattered them before each take, then collected them after every shot to reuse later. It was low-budget recycling at its finest, and yet that scrappy authenticity gave Halloween its eerily grounded, small-town vibe that made the horror feel real. Number 2. The mask that wasn't supposed to exist. Michael Myers' blank white face, one of the most iconic images in horror history, came from a Star Trek mask. Yes, you heard that right. The production couldn't afford a custom mask, so the crew bought a $1.98 Captain Kirk mask from a costume store. They widened the eye holes, tore off the eyebrows, spray-painted it ghostly white, and teased the hair into disarray.
I wish I had you all alone, just the two of us.
When Carpenter saw the result under the dim lighting, he reportedly said, "It was like staring at the face of death." The moment the mask appeared on camera, everyone knew Michael Myers had been born. Number 3. Michael Myers wasn't supposed to be Michael Myers. Before becoming The Shape, the silent killer was simply written as The Shape in the script, not even given a name.
Annie?
That term came from Old English theater, used to describe a mysterious presence, a shape of evil rather than a person. The name Michael Myers was added later as a nod to a British film distributor who helped Carpenter's earlier movie, Assault on Precinct 13, find success overseas. So, in a way, the man who helped Carpenter's career ended up lending his name to one of the most terrifying villains in cinema history. Number 4. Jamie Lee Curtis, the $8,000 Scream Queen. Jamie Lee Curtis was only 19 years old when she was cast as Laurie Strode. Her pay? Just $8,000 for the entire movie. But what really made the casting special was legacy.
I'm babysitting the Doyles. It's only 3 houses down. We can keep each other company.
Oh, terrific. I've got 3 choices.
Her mother, Janet Leigh, had starred in Psycho, the film that defined the modern slasher. Carpenter loved that connection, calling it a wink to horror fans. And so, Curtis, the daughter of horror royalty, became the genre's new queen.
Tommy, Halloween night, it's when people play tricks on each other.
Her performance as Laurie Strode set the standard for every final girl that came after. Number 5. The music that made the monster. Carpenter didn't just direct Halloween, he composed the score himself. He'd shown an early cut of the film to executives without music, and they found it not scary at all. So Carpenter went home, sat at his keyboard, and created a 5/4 piano rhythm inspired by his father's music lessons.
My father taught me 5/4 time. Ba 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 ba. I thought it would be perfect for the movie.
The result? That haunting, minimalist Halloween theme that crawls under your skin. It was written in just 3 days, and remains one of the most recognizable horror themes ever composed. To this day, studies show that the Halloween theme increases heart rate and anxiety faster than almost any other film score. Number 6. The secret behind the stalking camera shots. One of Halloween's most chilling techniques was its POV camera work, the audience seeing through the killer's eyes. That wasn't just a creative decision, it was a technical innovation. Cinematographer Dean Cundy used the newly invented Panelide stabilizer, a cheaper alternative to the Steadicam, to achieve those fluid stalking shots.
These conventions typically are thematic in that they are about horror.
The camera's movement felt too smooth to be human, but too intimate to be detached. It made viewers feel like accomplices to the murders, a voyeur trapped inside Michael's gaze.
You deliberately put a character on one side of the frame, leaving a lot of empty frame.
That immersive style became the blueprint for modern horror cinematography, and it all started with Halloween's haunting first-person shots. Number 7. The original title wasn't Halloween. Believe it or not, John Carpenter's original title for the movie was The Babysitter Murders. The script focused on several babysitters being stalked on different nights, but when executive producer Irwin Yablans suggested setting it all on one night, Halloween night, everything changed.
And it occurred to me that if we did a movie about babysitters, it would work because everybody had either been a babysitter.
Carpenter loved the simplicity. There had never been a movie called Halloween before. It was too perfect, and with that one word, Halloween became both a title and a timeless brand of fear. Number 8. Michael's breathing was real and terrifying. The heavy breathing you hear behind the mask? That wasn't a sound effect. Actor Nick Castle, who played Michael Myers, actually recorded it himself through the mask during filming.
Does anybody live here? No, not since 1963 when it happened. Every kid in Haddonfield thinks this place is haunted.
The sound team amplified and layered it, making it almost animalistic, a reminder that even without words, Michael was alive and hunting. To this day, Castle jokes that the most terrifying part of wearing that mask wasn't the breathing, it was how hot it got inside. Number 9. The movie that invented the modern slasher. While Psycho and Black Christmas came first, Halloween truly created the slasher formula we know today. A masked killer, a group of teens, the final girl, and the idea that evil never really dies. Carpenter didn't set out to make a formula, he just wanted to make people feel unsafe in their own homes.
Linda? Bob?
But the film's success, earning over $70 million on a $325,000 budget, sparked a wave of imitators. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Prom Night, and hundreds more. In other words, Halloween didn't just scare audiences, it created an entire generation of horror. Number 10. The Loomis Legacy. Dr. Samuel Loomis, played by Donald Pleasance, was named after Marion Crane's lover in Psycho.
But of course it's not intended to be real in that awful word realistic sense.
Carpenter adored Hitchcock's film, and this was his subtle tribute. Ironically, Pleasance originally wasn't even the first choice. The role was offered to Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, who both declined due to the low pay. Years later, Lee admitted it was one of his biggest career regrets. Pleasance's calm, haunted delivery gave Loomis the gravitas that anchored the entire movie.
You must think me a very sinister doctor. Oh, I do have a permit.
A man who stared into evil and recognized it for what it was. Number 11. The actor who played Michael didn't scare anyone at first. When Nick Castle was cast as Michael Myers, he wasn't actually an actor. He was Carpenter's college friend and an aspiring director. He was only paid $25 a day and spent most of the shoot walking slowly, silently, and doing whatever Carpenter told him.
Well, it won't hurt you to go out with him, for God's sake. Shit!
Carpenter gave just one direction. Walk like you're curious. That's it. No rage, no emotion, just curiosity. That eerie, detached walk, so mechanical yet human, became the very soul of Michael Myers. Castle would go on to direct The Last Starfighter and Dennis the Menace, but horror fans will forever know him as The Shape. Number 12. The knife sound was pure movie magic. That sharp metallic shing you hear every time Michael raises his blade, it's not a knife. The sound designer actually used a kitchen knife stabbing a watermelon, then layered it with the metallic screech of a wrench scraping against metal.
The hilarious thing about the mask situation is that the mask of Captain Kirk, anyway, looked nothing like him.
That combo gave each stab a cold, metallic sting, somewhere between reality and nightmare. It's one of those perfect sound design illusions that make Halloween so immersive you can feel the blade without ever seeing it. Number 13. The pumpkin. That almost wasn't. You can't have Halloween without pumpkins. But during filming in springtime Pasadena, there weren't any pumpkins in season. The crew had to drive hours outside of town just to find a few real ones, which they guarded like gold. Every pumpkin in the movie was reused multiple times, moved from porch to porch, scene to scene, just like the fake autumn leaves.
Oh, fancy.
This has not been my night.
So if you notice the same jack-o'-lantern popping up more than once, congratulations, you just spotted one of the film's cheapest Easter eggs. Number 14. The car that shouldn't exist. Fans with sharp eyes might notice that Dr. Loomis drives a 1977 Ford LTD, even though the movie takes place in 1978. But that's not the real error. It's the California license plates. Remember, Halloween is supposed to take place in Illinois. The low budget meant they couldn't afford custom plates or reshoots, so they just kept rolling. For decades, fans have called this out. But honestly, it adds to that weird, dreamlike vibe of Haddonfield. Something's always just slightly off. Number 15. The hidden face of Michael Myers. There's a brief moment near the film's climax where Laurie rips off Michael's mask, and for just 2 seconds, we see his face. That face belonged to actor Tony Moran, not Nick Castle. Moran was brought in just for that shot because Carpenter wanted Michael to look unsettlingly normal. A young man, emotionless, expressionless, yet terrifying precisely because of that normality. For that one haunting close-up, Moran was paid just $250, a small price for cinematic immortality. Number 16. The Halloween that almost didn't get released. When Halloween first premiered in 1978, most critics hated it. The Chicago Tribune called it depressing. Another reviewer called it pointless violence. It wasn't until Roger Ebert wrote a glowing review, praising its pure filmmaking, that the tide turned. Word of mouth spread like wildfire. Within weeks, Halloween was playing in packed theaters nationwide and became the most profitable independent film of all time. That grassroots rise mirrors the movie's own message: evil starts small and spreads quietly. Number 17. Carpenter's invisible cameo. John Carpenter himself appears briefly in the movie, not on camera, but as the voice of Annie's boyfriend, Paul.
Hello?
Hi, Annie.
Oh, hi, Paul.
Stuck, huh?
All right, cut it out. It could happen to anyone.
When she's on the phone saying, "See you tonight, Paul," that's actually Carpenter on the other end. It's a tiny Easter egg, but one that adds a layer of intimacy. The creator literally whispering from inside his own nightmare. Number 18. The mask has a secret twin. Only 2 original Michael Myers masks were ever made for the first film. One was used for filming. The second was kept as a backup. And years later, it mysteriously vanished. Collectors have searched for decades, claiming sightings at conventions, auctions, even private collections. But the original production team insists that second mask is gone forever. Some say it's tucked away in a Hollywood attic somewhere. Others like to think it's still out there, waiting. Number 19. The ending that never ends. The final scene, where Michael is shot, falls from the balcony, and then disappears, wasn't a last-minute twist. It was intentional. Carpenter wanted to show that evil isn't something you can kill. He said, "Evil is everywhere. It's in every house, every shadow, every Halloween night." That decision turned a simple slasher movie into myth. It left audiences terrified, because if Michael Myers could vanish like that, maybe he never left. Number 20. The movie that started a lifetime of fear. By the time Halloween ended its theatrical run, it had changed horror forever. It gave birth to the slasher boom of the 80s, redefined indie filmmaking, and cemented John Carpenter's name among the greats. And yet, at its core, it was always about something simple: the fear of what might be waiting just outside your window.
Hello, help me! Can you please help me? Please!
Breathing, watching. For every generation that's watched it since, from VHS in the 80s to DVD in the 2000s to streaming today, Halloween, 1978,
Hey, jerk! Speed kills!
remains the one movie that never stops creeping back into our dreams. And there you have it, 20 scary facts you didn't know about Halloween, 1978. A movie made with next to nothing, that became everything for horror fans. It taught us that fear doesn't need fancy effects, just a mask, a melody, and the imagination of what lurks in the dark. So now tell us, which moment from this movie still gives you chills? Was it the mask, the music, or that feeling of being watched when you're home alone? Drop your thoughts below. We love reading your takes. Until next time, stay safe, keep your lights on, and remember, you're watching Rewatch Club.